Good morning, CCSP. Today is Monday, February 22nd, 2021, and it is a period 1 through 5 day. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and are ready to go. Today is or this week rather, is the last week of Black History Month, and CCSP has a lot of things going on, and we'll talk about that later. But at this time, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, as you see, Miss Stratton has on, um, hmm, what do you call it? A headdress. I have on my t-shirt that we purchased a couple of years ago for Black History Month. And just to talk about a few things that's going on this month. We are having Diaspora Day today, which is Wear Your Culture. So please make sure that you are wearing something to represent your culture, whatever your culture is. Tonight, from 7 to 9, we'll be doing watching a movie, The Hate U Give. Tomorrow is Blackout Day, and we are going to wear all black. So let's get ready. And on Wednesday is Red, Black, and Green Day, which are the colors of the Pan-African flag. So please wear those, and we'll also be having our Black History celebration at 10:30 Wednesday morning. For Thursday, the 25th, is Dress to Impress, a representation of Black excellence. We were always taught to do your best, wear your best. So this is our example of dressing to impress. Be who you want to be further in life. And then on Friday, we will end the month with our Kamala Harris CCSP t-shirts. I hope that you've purchased one. I can't wait to wear mine to represent my soror. Excuse me. Okay, so we're starting a new book this week, and I know Ms. Ramirez prepped it on Friday and was telling you some things about the book. When I was in the classroom, one of the things that we did was that we would read the back of the book to tell us what the story was about, to see if we would be interested in it. You know, that's what readers do, to check out a book to see if it's something that really interests us. So let's read what this says. The name of our book is Bluish, and it's by Virginia Hamilton, an African-American author. Friendship isn't always easy, and we know that. We know friendship isn't always easy. Natalie is different from the other kids in Dreenie's fifth grade class. She comes to school in a wheelchair. She always wears a knitted hat, and she's allowed to bring her puppy to class. The kids in class call Natalie Bluish because her skin is tinted blue from chemotherapy. Is that nice? Dreenie is fascinated by Bluish and a little scared of her, too. She watches Bluish and writes about her in her journal. Slowly, the two girls become good friends, but Dreenie still struggles with Bluish's illness. Bluish is weak and frail, but she also wants to be independent. How do you act around a girl like that? So we know that Bluish is a little different. Dreenie wants to be her friend, and they become friends. But this book is probably about the process that they go through to become friends. And Dreenie is writing about this young lady in her journal. Wow. Do you have a journal? So let's start our book, Bluish by Virginia Hamilton. And it starts off with Dreenie's journal. The first time I saw her, Bluish, in school. She was there with her puppy. Nobody brings a dog to school. It was right in her arms. Plus, some kids knew her. I didn't, and Thule didn't. Sometimes trying to stand up and walk, The girl wears a big hat, like a half bowl, and sometimes she tries to stand up to walk. Miss Baker said, Natalie, do as much as you feel like. Don't try to do everything. Natalie is this girl's name, but that's not what kids call her. They call her Bluish and grin and look at her hand. Bluish fits her. This girl is like moonlight. So pale, you see the blue veins all over her. You can tell, though, once she has some color. I watch her all the time. She looks real tired and lets the puppy sit on the floor. It's all black as night. She said its name, Bucky. I didn't get it. No, its name is Lucky. Never seen anyone like her up close. This girl, Bluish, closes her eyes. Her hands look like moonlight fishes about to dive up and flop off the arms of her wheelchair. Bluish another day. After recess, Bluish sat outside of the classroom, right in the middle of the hall. So when the buzzer rang, we all had to go around her in her wheelchair. Some boy tried to push her, but it was braked, I guess. The chair didn't move. The pushing all of a sudden made her jump like somebody hit her. Her eyes got real big. I was there. Started to say, you want me to move you over? But I said, you want me to bring you inside the classroom? She was looking at me very tough. I'm sitting here until they look at me. That's what she said too, because everybody is pretending not to see her. She was all nerves and giggle, her. Her voice is squeaky. Never saw a kid with a teeny mouth like hers. Little lined mouth, upside down smile. Make her look like she's about to bawl. Bluish, and next. Outside. Today I almost fell on the sidewalk, twice, black ice. But this is not about me. She was outside too, Bluish. Do I tell Mom about this girl? She gets on one of the small school buses. I think maybe she comes from across town. She got on the bus with her puppy. A lift rode them up, and the driver pulled her chair inside. I like her hats. Different one today, blue velvet. This journal, excuse my mistakes, this is not for school. I'm not looking for a grade, just all about Bluish. I love her puppy. Chapter 1, Dreenie. Whoop! Dreenie yelled above the street noise. She and her little sister were slipping, then sliding as Dreenie picked their way along the icy sidewalk. School was out for the day. Bunches of kids talking loud were heading over to Broadway. Bluish. Like a streak going through Dreenie, reminding her, pale, glowing, fluttery, as in the picture in her mind. All around, brakes screeching and horns blasted. Cars and taxis slid through the slush. Bluish. Dreenie blinked into the hard bits of snow that hit her face. She shouldered her way through the throngs of shoppers, not quite shoving, but pushing through crowds of students and of neighborhood folks, seeing all the holiday decorations up and down Amsterdam Avenue. Older women in the neighborhood with their shopping carts acted afraid they would be pushed. They went so slow. Dreenie eased around them so her little sister wouldn't tumble into them. That had happened before. One woman had looked frightened, even though Dreenie had said she was sorry. Dreenie was muscled and tall for her age. She often looked angry, even when she was not. She could pretend to be really tough. The woman had clutched her purse. It made Dreenie and her little sister sad and feel bad. that someone would think they take something that didn't belong to them. Worst was seeing Willoughby's face. It was Dreeny's job to keep everything even. Keep Willoughby, everybody called her Willie, in place right next to her. Good, Dreeny thought. Finished with school for the day. She counted the days until holiday time. Not far off now, a couple of weeks, and she took hold of Willie's hand by her coat sleeve, pulling her along. Let go of me, Drain, Willie hollered, trying to break loose. Why do you think you are, Drain? Don't call me that, Dreeny warned. I know who your mama ain't, Drain, Willie cried, because you sure ain't one of us, Aneva and Gerald Brown's, Drain. One more time, Dreeny warned again, and stop with the ain't. Why is she such a pain? She and Willie went to the same school and were 2 grades apart. Lucky to transfer in a quarter of the way, with school already started. Her dad thought it would be a better school for them. Willie was so smart. The teachers let her sit and observe, they called it, in the stock market once a week. It was a class full of brainy nerds. Willie was the only 3rd grade. But they even let her pretend she had some stocks of her own in the 5th grade stock market. Their school was BCS, Bethune-Cookman School, an alternative public school called a magnet. Kids came to it from all over the city. Bluish. Like lightning came to Dreeny, and swiftly, Bluish was gone. Her pal Thule said Bethune was full of arty-darty kids, quick at everything. Dreeny half admired, as was half jealous of them. She would admit that much. There were other normal kinds of kids, but Thule tried to be arty-darty, and she tried sometimes to be Spanish, too. She often said funny stuff like, Honey, I kid you non. Dreeny frowned, thinking about it. El Estinish y Dominicanish, New Yoronicanis are my cool. Tufalui, Dreeny called her, sometimes. Thule knew some Spanish words and probably got a lot of them wrong. One time when Thule had been membering down the hall between classes singing, Chica, 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 do the mambo, and acting older, a girl had said something to her in Spanish. Thule had asked, what? Before she thought to say in Spanish, ¿Qué? The girl had started at Thule. You give Spanish kids a bad name, she said in English. Then the girl had walked away. Dreeny had heard her. Thule had just stood there. Dreeny remembered. All at once, she burst into tears. Dreeny hadn't known what to say. Thule acted like she knew it all, and no one ever would have guessed she'd cry. But she did. Finally, Dreeny led Tootie by the arm into the girls' restroom. I'm nobody, Thule had moaned, and then roughly to Dreeny, get out of my sight, muchacha! She was still crying hard. Dreeny had left her there. She didn't want to get in trouble, too. Never be where you're not supposed to be was a school rule. But she'd wished Thule would stop saying the Spanish words. It was dumb acting, the way Thule wanted to be something she wasn't. And Thule had stayed until somebody had told the teacher she was there, sitting all sad and alone on the floor of the girls' restroom. Thule Fooley. Wow, what an interesting book. So we've met Dreeny, we've met Williva, her little sister called Willie, and we've been introduced to, through the journal, to Bluish. Oh, sorry. We also met Thule Fooley, or Thule, Dreeny's friend. Let's see what happens tomorrow. CCSP, have a wonderful day of learning. And don't forget tonight's movie, The Hate You Give, from 7 to 9. See you soon.